Well, good evening and welcome to Grace College and the Grace College Entrepreneurial Showcase. You know it is a big deal when there is a 15-foot LED screen on stage. So we are excited tonight to be able to feature some students, to roll out the Gordon Center, and to have a pitch competition as well. Some of you were here earlier today, and actually the reason there is a 15-foot LED screen on stage is because Plug and Play had their MedTech Expo earlier today, which had MedTech startups from literally all over the world on this stage pitching their products to investors from across the state of Indiana and beyond in the orthopedic and MedTech industry. And we said, hey, can we at our event this evening? And so we're so thankful to Plug and Play, to Brandon Knoll for allowing us to do so. I want to give a big thank you to our sponsors this evening for our awards. Tonight's activities, again, are a part of the business plan competition. I should have mentioned who I am. I'm Drew Flam. I'm the president here. Some of you know that, some of you don't. But tonight we will view elevator pitch from our competitors with a final competition that's going to happen about a month from now on Wednesday, April 22nd. Right here at 6:30 in the MOCC. So come on back to hear the finalists after their pitches have even been refined better over the next month. But we want to thank some of our sponsors from this year. If you are one of these sponsors, I'd like for you to stand, and then we will thank you all at the end. So Remodel Health and Austin Lehman, a Grace alum. We've got First Source Bank and Doug Haynes, our banking partner here at Grace. Wildman Group, Josh Wildman. Caleb Roth here in the front row. And then Mr. Corey Coleman, one of our trustees here at Grace as well. Can you give these gentlemen a round of applause and thank them for their sponsorship? So tonight we are here to showcase the innovation and entrepreneurial momentum here at Grace College through our students. And I'm so excited to see what they have been working on. One of my favorite parts of being president is knowing that our students are going to go places and impact people that I'll never be able to go or impact. And many of them will do that through the avenue of business. And so our goal as an institution is to equip them to go into the world and to serve as businessmen and as businesswomen who are all about making Christ known wherever they go. At Grace College, we take academic excellence as a priority. And we have developed centers of excellence around research and innovation, all for the benefit of our local community. And we do that seriously. In fact, we are endeavoring as part of our current Creative for More strategic plan to launch 5 centers of excellence on our campus. A center of excellence is where students connect with faculty and they partner up to learn and serve together. And we currently have 3 of these centers of excellence on our campus doing amazing work. The Lilly Center for Lakes and Streams. Many of you are familiar with the Lilly Center. The Center for Movement and Well-Being. The Center for Literacy and Learning. And tonight, we are excited to launch our 4th center, the Gordon Center for Enterprise Development. At the helm of the Gordon Center for Enterprise Development will be Professor Glenn Grossman, Assistant Professor of Finance and Entrepreneurship. And I'm so thankful over the last year and especially the last months working closely with Glenn to hear his vision, his expertise, and certainly his student-focused leadership. Glenn has been at Grace for just over a year, but he has quickly become an instrumental member of not just the School of Business, but our faculty at large and our community. I'm so thankful for his fellow professors, the faculty of the School of Business, who are here tonight to support him. And so if you are a member of the Grace College School of Business faculty, would you stand so that we can give you a round of applause as well? This would not be possible without all of them. Okay, well, let's make him feel really, really welcome as the inaugural director of the Gordon Center for Enterprise Development. Would you please welcome to the stage with me Professor and Director Glenn Grossman.
Well, thank you, Dr. Flam, for those kind words. And I'm excited that you all could come out here tonight. So the mission of the Gordon Center is to facilitate entrepreneurship and enterprise development for our Grace College students, our faculty, employees, alumni, and our local community. The center achieves this mission through programs that provide a foundation for students in business. And that vision didn't start here, but started back in 2009. Professor Dr. Bill Gordon, who is, I can't see you all very well, but I saw him out here earlier. There he is. Thank you. Professor Bill Gordon had a vision in 2009, and it was called the Gordon Institute for Enterprise Development. And for many years, it flourished, and under past institute leaders, including Dr. Tim Ziebart and Al Grossnickel. Now, today, our economy looks a little bit different than it did back in 2009. And what we see out in our youth is a surge of interest in entrepreneurship. And we often call that the entrepreneurial mindset. And it's really strong. So you may not realize this, but in the population that is Gen Z, I know that our high school students are now going to be called a new generation, but Gen Z has over half of that population has expressed interest in pursuing an entrepreneurial path in their career. So students are coming to our campus with that passion, and we're helping them build those skills to actually take that forward. So I'd like to highlight two students. Now, one of these students won our business plan competition last year, and with his friends. So this is Alex and Tyler. They formed a company called TBAR. I think that might be their initials, Partners. And here's the thing. It wasn't the business plan that won. We have serial entrepreneurs here on campus. Now, this business, they came to me last fall and said, how can you help? And so we worked with our facilities team, and we provided them a dedicated space for their business with all the necessary utilities. That includes high-speed internet. And Tyler shared with me that his business has grown a bit. They now have, listen to this, 13 employees, 25 clients. Now, Tyler, I don't know if he's here, but his business is driving over $5 million in revenue for his clients. It's in the marketing space. If you know what a TikTok shop, you need to talk to Tyler. So that's what's happening today here on our campus. Now, the programs of the Gordon Center include many different educational programs, and we're going to highlight those over the next few minutes. One of those is student-run businesses. We have a water testing business, which you can learn about outside after our event. We do something called Lancer Labs, which are design thinking practicums, where students can work on designing new products and services. And we also have this annual business plan competition. And all of this is done under a foundation of biblical principles to guide our students. And they can be in any major. So be clear, if you're a student out there and you are not a business major, you can be in the business plan competition. So for some of you, the term enterprise development might be a bit unfamiliar. And enterprise development encompasses everything from a new product or service or growing an existing firm. So it's a very comprehensive term that encompasses just entrepreneurship, but growth of an entrepreneurial mindset in a business. And the Gordon Center exists to allow Grace students to create these sustainable businesses where they will thrive. Stats are pretty clear. Half of all small businesses will fail or close within 5 years. And we want our students to beat those odds. We want them well equipped and make prudent and ethical decisions in the marketplace. So let me just wrap up with a few other things before we get into some of these programs. Our center serves our community. We have a deep passion to serve our community. We contribute to the Casayaso Student Venture Challenge, which is the high school entrepreneurship program. And they are going to have their showcase here in this building in April. And we also provide support through small businesses. We partner with the Small Business Development Center, which has office hours here on our campus every other Monday right out here. And additionally, you may be familiar with our VITA tax program. And our VITA tax program has served over 300 clients every year in our community. So to wrap up, the Gordon Center seeks to serve our students, our alumni and community, and really foster human flourishing. If you look at Jeremiah 29, Jeremiah was a fantastic leader. It says, God's intention in the Jeremiah 29 is that his people they were in captivity in Babylon, and it says that they should work to bless and serve the communities around them, not just the people of Israel. That's the vision that we have. We want to bless the community that we're in, not just Grace College, but our entire economic region. So what we're going to do next is we're going to showcase some of our programs. I'm going to ask a few students to come up and a few partners. So let me see if I can get my tools here working right. So, all right. Well, we've talked about this. So for many, just to repeat this, is our mission is focused on entrepreneurship and enterprise development for our students, alumni, faculty, and our local community. So here are a list of our programs. There will not be a quiz, but Lancer Labs, the Entrepreneurial Service Project, we call ESP, the Business Plan Competition, which you are now part of today, our student-run businesses, the high school programs, things we're doing in the community, and finally, the research. We'll talk a little bit about that. So Lancer Labs is one of our programs, and Lancer Labs is a program that is done primarily through an industry partnership. Or if a student has a vision they want to develop. Design thinking is a technique to essentially take an idea and end up with a service prototype or a product prototype. Lucas, would you mind come on up? We're going to talk for a little bit. So we're going to do a little fireside chat without the fire. And we're going to talk about a few things. So we're going to try to focus here on the center. Make sure that works, right?
Does that work? Ah, awesome.
All right. So Lucas, hello, is it working?
Mine is working.
Can you all hear me, or I must have did something wrong here.
The one that was on that seat.
That's better. There you go. All right. Okay, so we're going to talk about Lancer Labs here, and so Lucas and I met for coffee last fall, and he was talking about his business, and I was explaining we're starting this program. And so Lancer Labs is where I mentioned we work on designing a solution. So the question I have for Lucas is, what was drawing you? You could do a lot of things. You're a busy entrepreneur. You got to run your business. I mean, why choose to work with a couple of students on a design product or solution?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here to share a little bit about this.
Yeah.
So when I came and we had this conversation at the coffee shop, one of the main things that drew me to Lancer Labs is the fact that we're so busy. As business owners, we have a lot of things that we're doing. And so there are a lot of things that we don't get to focus on, and there are a lot of opportunities that we cannot pursue. And so during that coffee shop conversation, I realized, oh my goodness, if I could have a group of students that could work and really focus on this project, I think we could really do something for my company here. And it's something where I just didn't have the bandwidth to do. So that was the main reason I thought I can have a group of creative, passionate students who have the energy, and we're young and can see the world in a different way, because I'm getting older and I just don't understand the trends as much as some of the younger people here. The other reason is I I started my company when I was young too. I was a sophomore in college here at Grace. And so if I can start a business, I thought they can start businesses. They can definitely help me fix and scale my company in different ways. And so, yeah, that was one of the main reasons that I thought this just makes sense. They're also learning a lot of the theory that as, busy adults, we sometimes forget. And that was another, advantage of working with college students. They're learning, they're hearing these concepts in the classroom, and then they get to apply them in a real world setting. So it's kind of a lengthy answer, but there are a lot of reasons why we would want to work with students at Grace.
Yeah. So, so to be clear, we started in January at the beginning of the term, and we're halfway through, or more than halfway through the semester. The goal is the last week of the semester have a prototype. Are you seeing any early insights from that process, that working with the students with the research they were doing, identification of end user needs, any insights, any early, let's say, aha moments maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think that sitting down with the students who are, again, paying attention to a specific area of business has allowed us to think more about our end customer. We don't have all the time. At times, we don't have the time to just think through what does our end user need, and having this group of students working on it has really, allowed us to think through, yeah, I guess this makes sense. We haven't thought about that, and now that you guys are thinking about every aspect of how we can serve those customers, we're really able to look at things a little differently. We can innovate in different ways. And so we're definitely having those conversations. Students are coming up with ideas. And you guys, for those of you who are students in the audience, you're students, so half your ideas might not apply in the real world, but guess what? The other half does apply. And then sometimes I'm like, wow, that might work. That might actually be a good idea. And so I think having that creativity and just ideation that partners with us is super helpful.
So there are business owners out here that we've invited to be part of tonight's event. If they were to come up to you and say, would you recommend it? What would be your thoughts on getting them interested in what we're doing?
I would ask those business owners who are interested in having extra help, would you like to have extra help? A lot of times for free, and with students that are very capable and can fix real world issues. I would ask that question back to them. I think they would say yes. But honestly, if you have any issues that require thinking, that require just more attention, I think having a group of students, people that can dedicate their time and just thinking around those ways to fix those issues, I would recommend it. I think they just get extra people to collaborate in their businesses. So, yeah.
That's great. Okay, thank you, Lucas. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
So we're going to move on to one other element. Thank you, Lucas. So, yeah. Yeah. So I meant to advance my slides, and here we are. So the next piece that we're going to talk about are business plans, and hopefully I've got the right slide after here. This is one I wanted, so my order is off. So I want to bring up Kristen Travis. If Kristen could come on up. Hopefully we still have a mic here. So, hey, Kristen.
How are you?
It's good. So Kristen and I got to spend a lot of time together in Entrepreneur Service Project. We call it ESP for short. And it's one of our entrepreneurial programs here. And ESP was started many years ago by Dr. Fawcett, and we're carrying on his vision there. So Kristen, tell us first a little about yourself, what year, what major?
Yeah, I'm a fourth-year senior this year studying business administration. Not quite sure what plans are going to look like after school, but taking this class actually was a huge blessing for me, and I feel like I learned so much, so very thankful.
So actually, to give everyone vision, you got something on your lap there.
Yes.
What can we share with them there?
Yes.
So, yeah, so these are, can you still buy these? Are they? What did we do? Did we sell out?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
We ended up giving away. We honestly didn't have very many left over, which was also a very good sign. Was very, very happy with our team and the way that they all performed. We only had, I think, around 15 left over, and we ended up giving them away to actually the family of the house that we built in Mentone.
Yeah. Could you explain a little bit about ESP? Why we gave things away? What do we do with the profits and our other time other than trying to sell product?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the class, actually, getting to volunteer. We ended up volunteering about 300 hours as a whole class to helping build a home for a family in need. And so, yeah, in the title of the class, it's Entrepreneurship and Service Practicum. So we actually got to volunteer, which was really, really fun. Honestly, a lot of team building went on, which was awesome. But also, I feel like it really just encapsulated what Grace stands for. And so it was really fun to get to create a business and really get into the nitty-gritty of what a business looks like, but also just get to pour into the community and help build a home. It was really, really special. Yeah.
Well, it was a fun team. Actually, Nathan was her co-president. You guys were a dream. You guys were the dream team, I think.
Yes.
So it was
It was
really,
a lot of fun.
they were really good.
It was a lot of fun.
And actually, there they are. Actually, Nathan's on the right there. So so what would you tell some of the students here? They can start registering for fall classes
Yes.
tomorrow. Maybe some of them. How would you tell them about ESP? Maybe.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend taking ESP. It was, I would say, by far one of my favorite classes that I ever taken at Grace College. Personally, I'm just a hands-on learner. And so obviously at college, it's a lot of lectures, a lot of assignments, but getting to read in the textbooks about these different business aspects and then getting them to directly apply them to the class was honestly really incredible, and I appreciated it so much.
Great.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kristen. So we're
Yeah.
going to bring up a few more students. Thank you, Kristen. Let's
Yeah,
give a
of
round of
course.
applause for
Yeah.
Kristen. Grab that sweatshirt. So I got to speed things along so we could stay on schedule, but we're going to bring up in a few seconds some students. Go back here to the student-run business in a moment. But I want to highlight just a few things beyond the entrepreneurial programs. I mentioned VITA. Professor Duff oversees that, and that serves over 300 community members or taxpayers every year in our community. A few other things that we do, we have seminars, and Professor Kuntz will be helping lead that. We're going to bring some entrepreneurial seminars to small business owners in our community with Spanish speaking as their first language. And also, once we have our business school building completed, we'll have some extra space to incubate businesses, and we have some shared office space for that to occur. And but right now, what I'd like to do, there's 2 people on this screen, but there are actually 4 people if they're here. If Grace, Maddie, Trey, and Gabe are here, could you come on up? And we'll have to figure out a way to spread out a little bit. Let's see. So we have 3. So we have a chair for everyone. So all right. So I have a couple of questions, and you guys are maybe going to have to grab the question that you want because my notes are not complete. But our first business, so to understand what this is all about, is last spring we started looking at how could we give students a little more hands-on experience with entrepreneurism and generate profit. So if you're familiar with the Lilly Center, on the 2nd floor, they have laboratories. And you may not realize this, but we have a state-certified lab to test water, and there's no other lab like that for almost an hour's drive in any direction. That's called market opportunity. So Madeline could not be here this evening, but Grace here. So here's the storyline. It's the first week of school. We want to get this off the ground, and Grace and Madeline replied to an email, and I honestly don't think they knew what they were getting into. And we went from, I think we want to do water testing, and September 15th, we started selling, and we made profit. We are profitable. We need to make more profit, but we're doing well. And I have students that came along this semester to add to that. So who wants to take this question? How has the working in the water testing business contributed to your business education here at Grace? Did anyone want to grab that one?
I can go ahead and take that.
Yeah.
So I'm a business management major here at Grace. I'm on the track to do the 3-year bachelor, 4-year MBA. And upon arriving to the semester mark, I've been in talks with Prof. Grossman about possibly switching my major from management. That was something really big for me, was the thought of being in HR, if I was going to be locked down in that position. And this kind of opened up a new aspect, an avenue for me to take, kind of exploring the management side of products compared to people. So that was a really neat experience just throughout this entire semester, kind of working on more of a product and focusing on something like that rather than thinking of managing people. How can I manage this product and advance it?
And rude of me not to introduce you fully. So full name and everyone kind of know who you are.
My name is Gabe Klein.
I'm Grace Comita.
I'm Trey Avey.
Great. Next question I had for the group was, when you talk to other students on campus about what you're doing, what is their reaction? Because this is all new. Coming to staff meetings on a Friday morning is not the typical class experience. So who wants to maybe, Grace, would you like to take that one? Yeah.
Yeah, I can actually take that. Yeah, it was funny to even say to some of my family and friends to be like, actually, I have a meeting this morning. I'm not in class. I have a meeting. I have to talk to people. Some people very much were like, why? That's not a normal thing for a college student to say or be in every day of getting into the use of being in a meeting, talking to people. When I started to explain a little bit more, I think when I talked to students, especially here at Grace, or people even outside, they had said, well, how do I get to be a part of that? How is that something that I get to be a part of? Because students are really interested in getting a real-world experience and having those real-world experiences of saying, oh, I have a meeting. They actually have to do those things. So being able to have those experiences was really good.
Excellent. Yeah. So I've had one of the things we do, I think, well here at Grace is mentorship with our students. And I get as much out of it, maybe more out of it than I think you guys. It's very enriching. And for each of these students, I've seen tremendous growth in how they approach business problems and just life in general. It's been a joy to watch that. So I have 2 other questions. Maybe we can combine that. Would you encourage some of the students out here to get involved in a program like that? And then any experience from this may have surprised you, like, I didn't expect that. So
Yeah, I can get that one.
Yeah.
So I'd say this practicum experience, it's different from an internship. I've had 3 different internships, and if you've ever done an internship, it's kind of just like bottom of the barrel, like throw all your busy work at the intern. And so, because you're only there for 2 months. And so the difference between this and an internship is that you bump into real problems that you have to navigate around, and you have to think like, how are we going to solve this? And it's not as easy as just like, well, what do I do here? But it's like, let's really think. And something that was really surprising to me was during a team meeting, you're kind of fleshing out a process. And Glenn kept like asking these questions that was like, well, what if the consumer like doesn't have a phone? And we're like, that's impossible. Like everyone has a phone, right? He's like, but what if they don't? And that really
or leave it in the car.
Yeah, or you know what I mean? So, and so thinking about what's like all the different scenarios, and I never really knew that that's what it took to develop a product, right? I just thought it was like, well, you just make it and then you just sell it and people want it, right? And so you bump into real friction points, and I think that's what really stuck out to me and gained valuable experience that you don't often get at internships.
Well, we're going to keep moving on, but let's give a hand for these hardworking folks. And we have a table out there. If you need your well water at home tested, we will gladly serve you. They will take your order tonight. So we're going to have one more conversation. Let me advance this. And let's see. I got my order a little. We have our business plan competition, and I just want to let you know the students that are participating in this have up for grabs $10,000 in investment. So the students you'll hear from tonight are headed towards that. And we've been doing this for 13 years. Last thing I want to talk about is our community, and we're going to talk about a camp that's really special. And I think if I get the page right here, the Free Enterprise Camp, if Mr. Rogers could come on up, Brian Rogers. So Brian and I were kind of neighbors, but we didn't know it. So I moved from North Carolina, and we lived about 10 minutes apart. I had to move to Indiana to meet Brian because I moved here, and I said, I think this camp I heard about would like to do here. So we've been having some interesting chats the last 24 hours about North Carolina. So let's introduce yourself, Brian. Tell them you're from the Tar Heel State.
I am, but I'm not a Tar Heel. I'm an NC State fan, so that's a little different on that. Okay. No, I grew up. I'm a PK, as they say, and where Campbell University is in Eastern North Carolina, and a service president of the Jesse Helms Center, which is in Wingate, North Carolina, about 30 miles east of Charlotte. And the Helms Center houses Senator Helms's archives. And over 2 million items are in there, North Carolina's longest serving senator. And when we built the facility and Lady Thatcher came and cut the ribbon, and he and Mrs. Helms just didn't want a dusty museum. They wanted programs for young people. And my predecessor, John Dodd, created in 1995 the Free Enterprise Leadership Challenge. And so from that, we have grown to have 7 sessions during the summer. It's a overnight, 5-day residential and overnight program, and we are in 4 different states: North Carolina, we are in Florida, we are in Texas, we are in Pennsylvania. So that's 4, actually 5 here. So Indiana being our new here at Grace College.
Yeah. So you mentioned Senator Helms did not want a dusty museum, wanted to impact youth. Could you shared with me how many thousands of students have gone through this program?
So when we really began to expand in 2008, but over 14,500 high school students have completed the challenge, as we say, and our alum.
What would you think is the secret sauce that if there's maybe a high school student out here or someone who knows a high school student to come to this camp, what's the secret sauce to this camp?
So I really think it's 2 things. One, we're blessed to have entrepreneurs who give to us from all 50 states. They believe in our mission, and because of that, we're able to keep our costs down. And we partner at schools where we believe in your mission and what you're doing. That'd be so important to Senator Helms. And so keeping that cost where we have an early bird rate of $199 for the week, and that is unusual for a summer camp that's overnight, and we feed and materials and things. But I think the other component is that we blend a ethical component, a free enterprise. That's why we don't call it just a capitalism camp or whatever. And we believe the free enterprise system, as Senator Helms called it, the miracle of America, that gives you the freedom to create and fail. That's what I tell our students. And so it's exciting to see them break out of their comfort zone and learn leadership techniques that they can take in all walks of life for that. So it's a blend of both, and that's really what makes us unique.
And the alumni from the students that graduate, what's their general feeling at the end of the week, and
that's the fun part, where I get to see the light bulb goes on. When I do orientation, everybody sits like deer in headlights. What have I got myself into? And the end of the week, they're having a great time, and they realize they can actually do public speaking. Yeah. They can handle the stress. I tell them we don't have therapy dogs for the week, and it's a lot of work. This isn't a swim time camp, and so it's unique in that fact, and it's rewarding. We just hired a young lady to be a counselor. She's from Houston, Texas, a first-generation college student, And she went to our program, and the light bulb came on, and she got a scholarship at the University, or Iowa State University, and is going to be an oncologist. That's her dream, like that. And to see that, so you know, our focus really, Glenn, is we want you to think like entrepreneurs, and regardless of what you do, and just think how great a country that would be if we thought like entrepreneurs and problem solved together with that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brian. We're going to wrap this up in a second. Thank you, Brian. Let's give a round of applause for him. So I know this took maybe a little longer than I hoped for, but it gives you a feel for what we're doing with our program. So I just have a few slides here. I guess I should have mentioned this, and this I think will play. We're going to wrap this up. This is what's happening in our community. I may need a little help from our AV friends, but after this, we're going to put up a transition that you could have a little break, but we're going to give out some great prizes, those prizes down here. So if you haven't signed in, here's the thing. You need to sign in. There'll be a slide with a barcode, and you need to sign in to win a prize. It's also for students how you get your extra credit if your professor's doing that. So if the folks from our AV group can get that started, that'd be great. Well, we may have a technical issue to hear the audio, so it's only 60 seconds, but I'm sorry, it looks like the audio is not playing properly. So why don't we, if we can just switch to the next set of slides and get the information up here. We're going to take a little break to get things set up. What we're going to do, some prizes. And once we do that, we're going to go straight into the elevator pitches. So take a little break, get registered, and come back in a few minutes to win some prizes, and we'll get started here just momentarily.
What happens when high school students are actually encouraged to think like entrepreneurs? The Student Venture Challenge was
make our way back to the seats, please? Ooh, it's bright up here. I don't know if I should feel embarrassed or honored that Prof. Grossman asked me to do this. I kind of lost my personality for 4 years working on my doctorate, and nobody knew I was actually fun. And then he asked me to do this, so he said I could get you guys hyped. What do you think? Woo! All right, real quick. If you're here because I forced you to be here, get loud. There's a strong chance you might be a winner if you were in one of my classes. So if you didn't get signed in, the QR code, there's the other one. So hopefully you got entered for the prizes. If you didn't, come to my office tomorrow and I will print you free chips at Hacienda for your prize. So let's do the first prize is for a non-student. If you are a community member and you like to represent the Lancers at the games and you go to more than 5 sporting events a year, raise your hand. Oh, Caroline, you get in for free, don't. All right, who else? You get in for free too. So I'd hope the president gets in for free. Okay, are there any people out here, like I know my daughter. Corey Coleman, where are you at? You are the winner of an athletic pass for Grace College. Woo! Thank you, Dr. Flam. Corey, if you don't go to the games, we hope to see you there. Okay, so for the other prizes, the for real prizes, not Hacienda chips. Okay, so I don't know what the prizes are, but Grace is going to, when you get called, come up and Grace is going to hand you a prize. So the first winner is Gavin. Sorry, it is really bright up here. Nobody told me to wear my sunglasses, so. All right, Gavin Solis, are you here? Woo! Gavin, you are not in my class and you still won the prize. All right, the second winner is Audrey Dalton. The third is my daughter's exact name, but it is not my daughter because she's 13 and probably in bed now. Catherine Miller. Boaz Strong, you're the next contestant. Are you here or did you scan and leave out, Boaz? I hope they didn't post this code on Yik Yak. Is he not here? Okay, that's okay. Caleb Davis, how about you? Caitlin Cup. See, you guys, it was worth coming to this. Ava Yordi. Grant Rojek. Hey, I got some of you guys in my 8 o'clock class tomorrow. Totally worth it coming. They will never ask me to pronounce names at graduation. I am sorry, Kira. Is it Bangy? Thank you. I do this for a reason because I don't want to call the names. Prof. Chappelle and Prof. Duff are really good at it. Okay, so is the last one? Oh, nice. It's a cooler, and I don't know what's in it, but it looks fancy. Abigail Bosch.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to get started with the elevator pitches. And let's see, we need the wrong slide deck. So we'll get that fixed. We need our, I think it's slide deck number 3, if you guys were working on that. So we're going to introduce, we have 8 elevator pitches. So to give you a little background, we have judges down here. Your judges are actually in your program. We have a variety of alumni. We have 2 members from Elevate Ventures, which is our premier venture capital firm here in Indiana. I'm not going to do a great job talking about it because it's not my firm, but one thing I could say about Elevate Ventures is they care about the state of Indiana. It's very clear from your investment that you make. We're very thankful for that. So let's see here. All right, so the way this is going to work, they get between 60 and 90 seconds to present. Now, our judges will get, if they wish, to ask a few questions, but just a few, because this is kind of a quick, rapid-fire approach. So we have 8 contestants, and at the end, there should be a barcode that we will present. There's 2 sets of judges, these judges and you. There's such a thing as the fan favorite. That means all of you as students, now I have to say you have to have a Grace student account. So you guys who are students, you know this, your Google account will let you get access to the form. I'm sorry, if you live in the community, it's going to be a little hard, it's going to block you, but we want our students to choose theirs. We'll see if it matches. So let me introduce Kyle. Kyle is a junior in accounting and digital marketing, and Kyle's going to present on 3F imaging.
Thank you, Prof. Grossman. My name is Kyle Shalley. I'm the founder of 3F Imaging. It is a real estate media company based out of Warsaw, Indiana. In today's market, 95% of home buyers start their search online through an app like Zillow. That means the first showing, it's through a screen. Now, this comes with a problem because many of these listings lack consistent visuals or marketing efforts. And it could also hurt agents because they can miss out on listings or potential offers, leave money on the table. So at 3F Imaging, we offer a solution. Professional real estate media services, including photography, videography, 3D tours, and aerial photography. We also pair this with a consistent quality and a quick turnaround time. We are a busy agent's best friend. Within a 60-mile radius of Warsaw, Indiana, there are approximately 18,000 listings annually. Assuming a conservative adoption rate of about 20% and an average order value of $275, that's approximately $1 million in serviceable market annually. 3F Imaging aims to capture between 5 and 10% of this market within 5 years and establish itself as the dominant media partner in Northern Indiana. Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
About solving this problem?
Yeah, so I grew up in the real estate market. My mom's a realtor, and this has always been a tough problem for her. She grew up taking her own photos in the market, and I just found a need, and there's not a huge competition in the area. There's obviously some, but it's a very rewarding business, and you meet great people and network with a ton of people. Anything else? Thank you.
All right. Okay, our next pitch is from Luis for L&L Pressure Washing Company. He's a junior and a finance major. He does have a partner, but it's only Luis who's going to present. So let's give it up for Luis.
All right, are we good to start? Okay. Before you spend thousands of dollars upgrading your property, there's a much simpler way to make it stand out. My name is Luis Loera, and I am a third-year finance major pursuing my MBA, and I am the owner of L&L Pressure Washing Company. If you were to ask my business partner, Luke Neer, what L&L stands for, he would probably tell you it stands for Luke and Luke. But if you were to ask us what we actually stand for, we would tell you we stand for professionalism, consistency, and customer satisfaction. Due to the constant weather changes in the Midwest, organic buildups such as mildew, mold, and grime can quickly take over your siding and driveway. Not only does this buildup look bad, but it can quickly become a serious slipping hazard. We help homeowners and businesses alike boost their property appeal and value through professional exterior cleaning. From driveways and sidewalks to siding and decks, we use the correct equipment combined with professional techniques to deliver a deep, safe, and long-lasting result. What sets us apart from the competition is our attention to detail, efficiency, and results-driven approach. We treat every job like an investment, making sure you see a clear result in how your property looks and feels. Whether you're preparing to sell, getting ready to host, or simply taking pride in your space, L&L delivers a stronger first impression every single time. Clean surface, higher value, that's the L&L difference. Do I have questions or no? Well, we're just gonna be advertising on like Instagram, Meta, like Facebook, going door to door. We're gonna have like business cards, door hangers, just basic but traditional methods of marketing. So, yeah. Thank you.
We have our next presenter, and this is just for if you're interested in Isaiah's product. I want to let you know when you leave today, you can sample it along with some muffins. So let's give it up for Isaiah, who's a senior and a psychology and business major.
Hi, everyone. My name is Isaiah Massey, and I want to introduce you guys to Simple Steps. In Warsaw, Indiana, maybe I should move this way a little bit. In Warsaw, Indiana, there are 8 independently owned coffee shops that produce thousands of specialty coffees for customers every week. However, did you know that 7 out of 8 of the coffee shops use the exact same mass-produced coffee syrup for their flavorings? These people are spending real money on hiring good baristas, on getting specialty beans, roasting them to perfection, and then whenever the time to add flavoring comes, what ends up happening is they add a flavor that hijacks the flavor rather than adds to it. And that is why I created Simple Syrups. Simple Syrups are organic, small batch, handcrafted syrups with one goal in mind, to promote coffee, not overpower it. People have loved Simple Syrups so far. I've only been making for about 2 months, but I've gained some traction from a couple coffee shops in Indiana, a couple coffee shops in Michigan that are waiting for me to be an LLC in order to bring Simple Syrups into their coffee shops. The problem with a lot of these coffee shops is that it takes labor, it takes creativity, coming up with new syrup flavors. and they don't have. They also need certifications to make coffee syrups in-house, and so Simple Syrups does a lot of that work for them, while providing a flavor that matches the quality that the coffee shops are trying to sell. So, and yeah, like Prof. Grossman said, would love to have you guys sample it out here once we're done. But that's Simple Syrups. So. Is there any questions? Where did the name come from? Yes, so the syrups that I make in general are, they're considered simple syrups. It's literally just a couple ingredients, and I just kind of spun the name to kind of make it look cleaner, and then just kind of a play on words, making simple syrups, so yeah. yeah, I know.
Have you been able to drive? Have you been able to drive, or do you think you could help drive more traffic to coffee shops through this?
Yeah, well, part of the plan is to become USDA certified organic, and so what that can look like is advertising as kind of like a made-in-house small batch feel, while also being able to organize advertise USDA organic, so coffee shops can use that as well. So, anything else? Awesome. Thank you, guys.
So we're going to see a couple of our next pitches have some competitive nature. This one's a little bit different. We have Isaac here with Halo Golf. Isaac, for many of you maybe know, plays on our golf team, so he's an expert in this category and is also one of our fine entrepreneurship management students. So Isaac's going to talk to you about Halo Golf, and let's give it up for Isaac.
Hello, I'm Isaac Embry. I'm the creator of Halo Golf. I've been playing golf for about 10 years, and it has always been a struggle to find Christian golf gear that looks good and feels good. Most of it is either overly preachy or just not stylish. Halo Golf is changing that. We're building a faith-driven golf streetwear brand centered around clean, unique designs like this. That help spread the love and joy of the gospel on and off the course. In our early survey, over 80% of people said they prefer a subtle and stylish faith-based brand, and over 70% said clean design and quality matter most, which is exactly what we're building. What makes us different is we don't choose between style or message, we do both. We create gear people are proud to wear while still pointing to something bigger. Halo Golf isn't just a brand, it's identity, it's mission, and it's a way to represent your faith naturally. At Halo Golf, it's more than what you wear, it's who you represent. Thank you. Any questions? Significantly. Thank you.
So we have another entrepreneurship, but we have a double major here. So not only can we find opportunity, she's going to make sure that the profit and loss statement is accurate. So Lillian is going to talk about her venture, Everyday Faith Boutique.
Hi everyone, I'm Lillian Kelsey and I'm developing Everyday Faith Boutique, an online clothing and accessory brand for college-aged women who want faith-based style that actually fits into their everyday lives. Online fashion is rapidly growing, with e-commerce expected to surpass $2 trillion globally within the next few years. And Gen Z is driving that growth by choosing brands that reflect their values and identity. But in many boutiques today, it's difficult to find clothing that's both on-trend and modest, especially for women who want their faith reflected in their everyday style, thus creating a clear gap in the market. Everyday Faith Boutique is designed to fill that gap. We offer on-trend wholesale clothing and accessories that are stylish, modest, and easy to wear. Not just statement pieces, but outfits you can actually live in. What really sets us apart is our custom design line. In addition to our boutique collections, we create custom shirts, sweatshirts, and apparel for church groups, campus ministries, and events. This creates an additional revenue stream while also building strong community connections and repeat customers. By combining curated wholesale products with custom design services, we're creating a brand that is both scalable and community-centered. Everyday Faith Boutique isn't just about clothing. It's about giving women a way to represent their faith confidently without sacrificing their style. Thank you. Any questions? Primarily wholesale online, but then have a option to where churches can go in and apply and have whatever designs that they want, kind of like an idea that they have, and then we would be able to curate that and then create that line for them. So it's more like I would find the wholesale like pieces, and then I would have a like online shop through like I think it's called like Shop Pay or whatnot. So then that way I would have curated pieces on there, but then also be able to sell to other churches and such. Thank you.
All right, so we've seen seniors, but we have a freshman to show you. Okay, remember Tyler won the business plan competition as freshman, so we have a potential repeat maybe here, right, Alexander? So Alexander is a freshman, and his business is Everlasting. He's also an entrepreneurial management major. Let's give it up for Mr. Overway.
Hi guys, how you doing? Good. Okay. As you said, I'm Alex. Let's just get into this. For something as personal as faith, not everyone resonates with its current representation in the clothing industry, as we've seen in the last two. Much of today's Christian apparel is considered fast fashion. I mean, it relies on bold graphics or low quality production. You see, this leaves a clear gap for those who want something more refined, more authentic, and intentional. A place where fashion-conscious consumers can find clothing that's actually rooted in faith. Everlasting fills this gap. We are a minimalist apparel brand blending streetwear and classic menswear. From tailored pants to baggy jeans, suit coats to hoodies, our products are designed for modern, everyday wear while remaining contemporary and grounded. What sets us apart is our focus on craftsmanship and detail as a reflection of faith. Every piece is thoughtfully designed and constructed, allowing it to speak for itself without relying on loud messaging. Using premium, skin-safe materials, our garments stand out through quality and restraint in a fast-paced world. Our goal is to set the standard for elevated Christian apparel, creating pieces that are not always loud, but they're always true. With a skilled production team already in place, Everlasting is ready to bring this vision to life. Thank you.
sell the apparel? How do you tend to distribute?
Distribution. So online, of course. My manufacturer is in Colorado, and so they'll distribute here, and then we'll package and do fulfillment here on my dorm with some friends, pay that out a little bit, and then just distribute, shipping, USPS, that kind of thing. Yeah. Thank you.
Chelsea's going to come up here and speak to us about her unique product line called the Fruitful Word. She does have a partner who is not currently here at the school, but she's a senior in management. Let's give a warm welcome to Chelsea.
Have you ever felt God placed someone on your heart to talk to, but you didn't know how to start that conversation? My name is Chelsea Manuel, and I've been working closely alongside my partner, Cece Suheda, who's a past graduate from Grace College, through the process of launching what is known as the Fruitful Word. Our company will offer custom-designed glassware that comes with scripture cards explaining the biblical meaning behind each cup. We will also offer guided devotional journals with the same biblical theme. Our first collection centers around the fruit of the Spirit. We're planning to serve our customers online through our website and in person through farmers markets and craft fairs. The goal of the Fruitful Word is to create natural conversation starters that make sharing faith feel more approachable. With nearly 40% of the world's population never having heard the gospel, we want to offer simple and meaningful ways to introduce conversations about faith. Not by forcing it, but by gently opening the door. So whether it's explaining the meaning of your cup to a friend or giving one as a gift to someone else, we want to help people grow deeper in their relationship with Christ and share it with those around them. If you'd like to follow our journey or learn more, connect with us on social media at The Fruitful Word. Thank you. Any questions?
Have you tried selling at farmers markets yet? What farm markets would you be interested in? Where do you think the opportunity is?
Yeah, we have not started selling at farmers markets yet. We're kind of interested in the Indianapolis area, Fort Wayne, anywhere like. We are based in Ohio, so in Ohio would be ideal, but we're willing to travel, of course. So, Yep. Great. Thank you.
Our last pitch is for Lucy Varga. Now, our pitch here, just to warm you up a little bit, is just a slightly different approach to entrepreneurship. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but she's also a freshman in entrepreneurship management. So let's give it up for Lucy.
So hello, my name is Lucy Varga. So today, nearly 80% of missionaries serve in places that already have access to the gospel, while millions of people in other nations have little to no access. Many people live and die every day without ever hearing the good news, not because they rejected it, but because no one brought it to them. That is why I created the Great Commission Project. Our first launch location will be in Jepara, Indonesia, which is a very poor and predominantly Muslim community. My father's business is based there, and I have family on ground, which gives us immediate relational network, cultural insight, and legitimate business connections to help us start sustainably and wisely. The Great Commission Project is a missions-based business hub that equips and sends tent maker missionaries to the countries with the lowest access to Christianity, while also starting legitimate businesses, such as importing handcrafted goods. This business model creates a sustainable income for residents, while also building relationships that open the door to Christianity. In Matthew 28:19, Jesus commands us to go and make disciples of all nations. The Great Commission Project bridges missions and business while also creating a sustainable income for residents and sharing the gospel with them. Thank you. Any questions? So, well, we would be a nonprofit, but I was hoping we would hope that with as more as we get out there into the world and start branching out to colleges like Grace College per se, hopefully people would start donating money, and then with importing the handcrafted goods from local communities. So per se in Indonesia, they're very heavily on making boutique shirts, which is a certain fabric there. We would bring it to America and then sell it to people here, and then whatever money we would get from that, we would send back to families and also take a certain percentage, a tiny bit. Yeah. Anything else?
How did this become a passion for you?
So I grew up traveling. I was homeschooled up until I was in high school. So traveling has been a huge passion of mine ever since I was a little girl. And my father's business, as I said, is based in Indonesia. It's in Java, Indonesia. And so I have family also there. And so just traveling to Indonesia and seeing the culture and how they live there, and talking to people that live there full time, and they have never heard the name of Jesus. It's people never send missionaries to countries like that because it's just they don't think about it because it's so far away. Okay, thank you.
We're going to allow our judges a few minutes to figure out who is tonight's ideal, best performing elevator pitch. Now, this is a competition. This ends on April 22nd. So think of this as this is not the winner of the business plan competition. This is just the elevator pitch. So we're going to allow them, we're going to escort them to a room where they can debate, and then we're going to quickly turn the cycle. I know it's going a little longer than we had planned, but we have our senior seminar students who are going to present a challenge. Literally someone being the Ringer family threw down the gauntlet and said, grow a product line by 40%. That's a tough challenge. So they've got teams that are going to present for the owners while our judges debate. So we're going to switch slides. We're going to get our judges the opportunity to debate, and the Ringer family is going to come up here to evaluate. We'll try to wrap this up as soon as we can, but please be patient. It's going to be worth it. So. So we have 4 teams from Professor Kuntz's senior seminar class. So the students that are presenting aren't the whole team, they're representatives of their teams. I'm going to be handing off the clicker to those teams, and they are in alphabetical order of their teams. They were given a challenge from the product line is called Compel, and it's a product that's that we gave the cooler with all that had a collection of Compel products, and you can learn more about that outside. But it's a organic plant-based product that I'm going to probably say it wrong. It's not a disinfectant because we were told not to use that, but it removes lots of bacteria. Say I'm not trained well in the product line. These students are. So Group D is going to come up. It's only take a couple minutes for each group, but we want to give them focus because they've worked really, really hard on these projects to impress the owners, and we'll see in a few days who they think is the best. So I'm going to give you a microphone and a clicker.
Hi there, my name is Seth Fisher. I'm a transfer, but I am a second-year senior here at Grace College. Basically we chose to do childcare facilities as the market that we wanted to pursue for Compel. Here you can see that there are over 3,000 childcare facilities in the state of Indiana. That is a lot that we get to market to. And they're not just private ones, some are public and some are also with ministries. Our value proposition is to provide safe and health-conscious cleaning products to children's play and recreational areas in public and private daycare facilities. Our strategy. So we come with a budget of $200 a month to market this product. We decided it would be best to bring a sample of the product to any particular city. It could be Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, or even around here in Warsaw. Bring a sample of a product, buy the big gallon of Compel cleanser, buy little spray bottles, water it down into a solution that is built to do what it's supposed to do, so cleanse the surfaces, bring information flyers and pictures of the Petri dishes showing just how Compel does cleanse surfaces, show them how it works, get their contact information, explain why it's superior and better than other cleaning products out there, and then leave them with that sample. And then we'd come back about 2 weeks later, so we wouldn't hit every daycare in that area. We'd come back about 2 weeks later, ask them how it was, maybe even ask for a testimonial on how it went, and repeat this in more daycares around the area. The way that we want to launch our strategy is it's not going to be a one-time solution. It has to grow. So it's not going to be a day one solution. If they stick to our strategy, it's going to continue to grow. More daycares are going to engage in the product. They're going to want to buy it more. They're going to talk to each other because not all daycares are just secluded from each other. And additionally, the more that the word is spread, the more it's going to be shared with other daycares out there. The only risk factors that are out there is that people may view the price as too much, but compared to buying a name brand thing, you're buying from a smaller company, you're supporting smaller businesses, and that's good for the community. People might also not like the process or the hassle of switching products from, let's just say, like Lysol. And that is something that could come along with that. But again, supporting small businesses, supporting your community is something that can be marketed towards them as something that they should do as a daycare. Our 12-month projection, as you can see here, where you look to get 10 baseline units each month. Growth units isn't going to happen instantly. So over the course of a year, we look to get 40% growth from 120 units to 170 units. And again, these numbers are hypothetical. It could be more or less, but it's not going to be a day one thing. It's going to be something that is spread through word of mouth and through our marketing in the community. Here are our references. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Ethan Stokey. I'm a senior accounting major here at Grace, and today I'm going to show you how we can grow Compel by over 40% through the independent U.S. gym industry. So why the independent U.S. gym industry out of all the industries we could have chosen? For two main reasons. One, currently Compel relies primarily on direct-to-consumer marketing, which leaves it kind of vulnerable to discretionary purchases and almost a volatile up and down revenue stream. The independent gym industry, or the gym industry in general, is different. Gyms have constant reoccurring spending needs. They're very reliable as far as the revenue goes, and, my mistake, it can almost create a subscription-like reoccurring stable revenue for Compel. But why independent gyms? Why don't we go to bigger gyms where they buy more cleaning product and that would generate more revenue? Well, the reason we think independent gyms would be better than large-scale commercial gyms is because of access to decision makers. The independent gyms, you have to deal with the regional managers, the budgetary constraints, and just the more complex market penetration. With the independent gyms, you can reach that owner-founder who really has control over the budget and the actual cleaning supply spend. So a bit about the independent Indiana gym, specifically in the independent Indiana gym market. There are over 1,000 independent gyms in Indiana alone. These gyms spend on average $3,000 to $5,000 per year on cleaning supplies. That means there is a $3 to $5 million annual market that's always constantly churning. That is a brand new market every year. The gym industry in general is growing about 5.2% annually, and that is revenue. And there are over 1 million plus members. That is just in the independent gym sector of Indiana. Think of the impact that Compel could have there. The key thing I want us to take away from this slide is that $3,000 to $5,000 annual spend per gym per year. What that shows us is that if Compel were even able to lock up one gym, it could easily hit, apparently I like to push the forward button before I'm ready. It could easily hit that 40% goal. So how does Compel get into this industry? What value does Compel provide? Three main things. The current competitors in the gym industry, they have a very harsh chemical odor. We all know that smell. That's like, we don't really know what it's called. We kind of just call it the cleaning smell. Compel is odorless. That leads to a more premium fuel for members. Secondly, existing products, they stop working when they dry. Compel keeps working long after it's dried. Long after it's dried, meaning that it can clean more with less. And then finally, and possibly the biggest one, most of Compel's product competitors, they build their cleaning supplies, their cleaning, they think about the surface when they build. Compel was built with the human in mind, meaning that it's safer for fabrics, it's safer for the machines, and it's safer for human touch. This is crucial in gyms where there's constant touch, there's constant overturn, and the machines are one of their biggest assets. So how do we get into this market? How do we get there? Well, as I mentioned, we have to target those independent decision makers, those owner-founders, those founders who are managing their gym. We need to target them, and the best way to do that is to get right in front of them face-to-face. We need to call them, direct outreach, meet up with them. And when we're talking to them, what we need to do for them is eliminate the friction on their end. We can do that through product sampling, bulk incentives, or pilot trials, all within the marketing budget. The key thing here is the math in this is really simple. If Compel is able to lock down 1 or 2 gyms, okay, I'm not even touching the thing now. If Compel is able to lock up even 1 or 2 gyms, it could double, triple easily with its revenue. Imagine if it had 10 gyms. Imagine what it could do with 10 gyms of that revenue reoccurring. So in sum, guys, this is a sustainable, reliable, and focused way that I think we can scale Compel. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are Compel for First Responders. I'm Molly Runstead, and this is Ryan Miller with me today. Okay, so our target audience is first responders, which is like EMS, police officers, firefighters, anyone who operates in a fast-paced environment that doesn't really have a lot of time to go sanitize their hands, wash the hands, or anywhere that like is a stable environment. So our segment size is roughly 4.6 million nationwide first responders, which is a lot of people and a lot of product that could be sold. Frequently, these first responders are exposed to bodily fluids and contaminated equipment, which means that they need something to clean themselves with. They often work long shifts without access to full sanitation setups, making traditional skin cleansers difficult to use and harsh when they have to constantly use them. And as previously stated, Compel is still cleaning even when it's dry, which is really beneficial that they can wipe their hands dry and it's still working. So this is a quote that we actually did a survey with over 50 different first responders nationally, and what they basically said overall was that they're interested in trying different things, but what they really care about is that it's coming from a small business owner, and if that's how it's marketed, that means so much more to them than if it's a big corporation like Lysol or other big corporations that they already use. But the fact that it's small and people that they can get to know and care about, that matters more to them.
Yeah, and as they stated before, Compel does not contain harmful chemicals, so responders don't need to worry about the chemicals getting on their skin. The whole point is to remove the sweat and the dirt from their skin so they don't have to worry about any harmful effects. And the odor-free makes it so if they're doing it in between calls, they don't have to worry about the fragrance bothering a victim at another call. So we believe that the first responders' needs can be found in the Assure alcohol-free wipes and the 100 milliliter spray. So a lot of police officers I know carry a bag about this size, and the spray fits right inside of it. So this can be with them at all times if they need to clean their hands quickly, and then the wipes can stay in the car after the call is over. So I come from a family full of first responders, and I plan on becoming one myself. So I can see on the other side of the market what they're looking for and what they look at in terms of marketing. So our primary marketing channel will be through social media. Customer testimonies are also going to be vital. First responders like to talk and listen to themselves talk. So if they can hear it from their peers rather than a business, they'd be more inclined to take their word on it. So through our marketing budget, we would get trial kits to local first responders and then give them a platform to talk about the good things they see in Compel. So in terms of our distribution, we want to start here in Indiana first. It's valuable to our local first responders that they feel seen and cared for. So we need to focus on them first before we can move on to the Midwest and into the national market. So through this project, we hope to honor first responders by approaching them with a product we believe can work for them and benefit them in their lives. Thank you.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Noah Traup, and this is my partner Gabby Wagner with me, and this is our team strategy for growing Compel. There we go. Okay, so our suggested target market is nursing homes. Here's some quick stats regarding nursing homes. There are an estimated 1.2 million residents across the United States, and among them, there are roughly 2 million serious infection diagnoses each year. Over half of these diagnoses are considered preventable. There are 3 major causes for these infections, and they are weak immune systems, poor cleaning, and understaffing. This leads to our value proposition, which is a need for cleaning products that are both safe and effective. Easy-to-use products like Compel are great for places that are understaffed and undercleaned. Effective products like Compel's ability to continue working after drying is especially ideal for older demographics and those with weakened immune systems. So Compel fights each of these causes, leading to infection that I mentioned, making it a great product for nursing homes. So I'm going to turn it over to Gabby. She'll talk more about the market segment and our marketing strategy.
All right, so as we look at our segment size, the first thing we want to look at is the number of nursing home facilities. So there are about 15,000 nursing homes in the US and about 1.6 million licensed beds as of 2022. And then the second thing we want to look at is the number of residents in these nursing homes. There's about 1.2 million residents in nursing homes in the US and about 80 to 90 residents per nursing home. So for our marketing strategy, we suggest a 1-month free trial with a limited supply of the product. And then after this 1-month free trial, we suggest to incentivize facilities, give them a 15% off for a limited number of months to use the product. We would target administrators directly, and then we would just hope to create partnerships with these facilities and build trust between Compel and the companies. And that is what we have. Thank you.
We have reached the end of the evening and we have some results too. So let's give a round of applause for the students that put in hours of work on the Compel presentation. It was quite a bit of work. So our judges have made some decisions. Let me give you a little bit of instructions of what's going to happen next. After we find out from one of our alumnus here who's going to share the results, out here in the lobby you can meet some of the entrepreneurs, learn about the water testing business, and one of our newest small businesses in town is Lake City Bagels. We mentioned earlier, this is an interactive reception. There are 3 yummy muffin varieties out there, and one of those will become the Lancer Muffin at Lake City Bagels, but it takes you to vote. So there are ballots out there to taste test. There's sample coffee, and guess what? You can try some syrup. So after we hear about the results, we'll dismiss, and you can head out. But could Caleb, where's Caleb? There he is. Caleb is going to share the results because he was in the room and I was not.
Well, good evening. I am Caleb Roth. I'm a 2010 graduate. They let me out on good behavior. On behalf of the judges, we would have deliberated all night, but they said you guys want to get out of here. So we will honor that. I do want to just say thank you to each of the participants for coming up. It is bright up here. You are all very brave and you presented phenomenally well. So thank you for that. We did have to narrow it down and we did come up with 2 prizes, if you want to call them that. I guess there's nothing to hand out yet, but come back in April, there will be. First, a little feedback to each of you that came up. You were phenomenally well on the pitch part. You may need to work a little bit on the catch. So be prepared to take some good questions from those judges. And then distill down as much as you can to the who. Many of you had some pretty good ideas about the industry that you're in, but try to get really specific about exactly who you're trying to serve, what they look like, what age they are, their demographics. That's going to shed a lot of light on what you do in the business. And lastly, if you can, between now and April, get that first dollar. Actually seeing sales is really going to wow at least me as a judge, but also your fellow judges. So without further ado, honorable mention is Lucy Varga. We loved the Great Commission project. Definitely has some legs. Where is Lucy? Congratulations. We'd love to see you flesh that model out just a little bit more. I think missionaries serving all over come into contact with a number of great products, and I think if you can build the platform that they could bring those back, take a commission, you would take a commission, of course. I think that could be a very beautiful business, and the judges think that has some legs to stand on. And then, since we had to pick a first place, Isaiah Massey, where are you? With Simple Syrups. We loved the name, even the period at the end. And we love that you did your market research and going to the coffee shops, and we think you have a very differentiated product, and we can't wait to see it come to market. The judges did say they do want to go home with a jar just to sample it. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, participants.